Did I miss the knife? No. I probably didn't miss it out. If I would have missed it out, then I probably would be ashamed of myself as well. But as we're having it, Kree and the boys, they're going through the stabbing of the East Europeans. Has to happen at one point. Kinder starts off. Hooch and Nickelback are doing the usual job. And there goes the final one. Pashanok secures it. ESPADA can start on the CT side if you like. And as we're going for it, there now comes the call from the EPG side to go for full armor. No one is going for the utility. As there comes direct aggression towards middle, where now Luke might hit his shots perfectly with the P2000 he starts off with. Nickelback might be interested in more. Kinder finds Luke though, and Venya should consider himself to go back as the connector security. Words. He's now working on the head. There's one boosted out. And Lion getting himself to double the guy we talked about before the match started. Something in a different language. Because it probably is Carillion just written out in Latin letters. But now Pashanok as well as Rami need to find the last two. And Pashanok, as he can take his time due to the kit he has in hand, now needs to get Hooch. There's no way around it. He doesn't hit the shot and rotates now back on the side. This is perfect timing. Can get himself to smoke. There it comes. Hooch doesn't seem to be aware of the situation at all. Pashanok can get the defuse through, and Rami might secure the player who goes for that. And yes, he does. He makes it work. ESPADA, who are down the drain, somehow are able, and hella able, to get themselves the first one. There we see how much of mistakes you can sometimes do. This is exactly where we see how much it matters to take control over a site properly and to defend it in the way, well, that you should do it. The weaponry on EPG, comparatively weak, can try to make themselves at least work with an entry, as mid seems to be once more the destination. Luke stands perfectly to get that entry done, but there, first body shot from Hooch hits. He sees the decals on the wall, and those decals imply for Venya to just hold up the position so well as his teammate is tacked down low. The initial situation to get on any of the sites right now is good for EPG. Luke has to need some lightning fast snake bite reactions to get himself that tag or even headshot in line though. The AK there on his side, they're aware how good he is when it comes down to raw skill. So this means now for the young 18-year-old star of the EPG site to show us what he can do. Travel is super patient though, and now that comes the entry. Elian is the first one to run through. Hooch down to 6, it doesn't matter. As Travel though comes over short, might be just Rami getting another one on Challanger. And this is now working out fine for the site of ESPADA as Luke hits a Lion and is now the low HP Rami back on the site. The time is ticking low. Pashanok sticks to his position and rips off the head of Kree. Alexei Guzev, who tried himself the best with that connector AK, where he got himself the entry quite well and made a good move. In the end, was not able to connect any more shots. The entire team benefited from the situation, as the kit was not there. Well, it was actually there in the first round, that's the right way around, but the kit was not used early enough, or more likely the guns were not used early enough to hit the players before the plant, gave them the certain situation of the C4 down on the A site, and that benefits the wallets of ESPADA. As Travel takes a wide peek around, Challanger finds the one to Travel as well. Short is now being open. As EPG make exactly the move in that position, Pashanok with that MP9 doesn't even hit one. The B site's open for business, and definitely going to be taking a bit. Venya has to hit 5, or more likely 4 for the moment, as Challanger sneaks around, finds Venya. And ESPADA are already giving it away. Hooch is moving over from the other side. We gotta pause there on to look. We're going to figure out if it is technical or tactical or what kind of reason we're having for it. But there comes a jumping Rami, and he finds the player. With that entry done, he gets even the one on Challanger. This is so well done to get at least a few exits here and there, because the economy right now from the EPG side is far away than strong. And now Counter-Strike decided to crash. I love it. That's the spirit. That's the goddamn spirit. Tech pause being called, going on the same level. And now you're going to hear this, you know, the classic sound how Counter-Strikes are. I can't really reenact it. Reenaction not needed. Now, a big pray for Counter-Strike is probably the best for the chat. JK. Counter-Strike got himself. You know, Counter-Strike, we love it. It's still buggy as hell. I hate it. I'm very honest. I hate it. I hate the entire bugginess of Counter-Strike. And especially as a spectator or as a caster, so many goddamn things are there where you just get pretty much pranked. And that big prank, it's like one of those YouTube pranks where it's just a prank, bro. I just crashed for the fun. I wanted it to be hilarious. And then you just gotta accept, oh god damn it. Counter-Strike really intended to be hilarious. And I hate that. It's pretty much like a big brother with bad pranks. This is Counter-Strike. But Counter-Strike is also the Bets.net Cup. We're going to figure out who will now come back into this game, or who will now take over this game, as EPG is on the right track with all those AKs to find the way. Rami and his teammate Travel interested in taking the control over at Palace, where nothing has been spotted, and a Lion makes a fast move. A Luke having tunnel vision and seeing nothing at all. This is incredible. This is the site of B easily taken over, and Rami as well as his teammate Van Vicious are already not being interested. They're giving up, giving this to the side of EPG, who are now coming back 2-2. A tied up scoreline. We're in the round before. 2 exit frags have been made by one of the players. At least the Lion gets the one. I see Kindar moves into Palace. He might just get at least one. But in the end... There we go. As a site from EPG got themselves, well, at least a second one secured. Even the AWP onto Lion. There comes the Venya frag onto Kree. As he gets himself at least that one. Moves up. And ballsy as he is, goes for the flames and secures 2 frags. Where now the USPSs could be at least successful onto a Lion. Hat is not being ripped off. He survives with 8. A Pashanok. He might just do the right job with this. The Deagle, which can inflict a lot of body damage onto a Lion and Hooch, is a suitable weapon for this. But Alliance op is the same. There we go. 3-2. ESPADA's economy is looking okay. Pashanok not looking brilliant, but he's working it now once more with that MP9, which I'm not 100% fan of, to be very honest. As we're having it, Travel and the boys. That is going to be aggression from Mikan. They're doing it in the right direction. This is A side being taken in the fix. As Venya tries to do damage control, but he can only control onto one, which means Hooch, Lion, and Kree. In just a few seconds taking control over that A side, which now will be defended in the best way they can. As Travel is on the right, gets taken down. Only a single, well, minigun, as you could call it. I personally like to call it the minigun. Extremely fast fire rate. It's mini, so it's a mini gun. Get it? Mini gun? Anyway, I'm sorry for that. Pashanok though. He's definitely not sorry for that. 10-second defuse he has to do. Tries to fake it out against Hooch, stays back. And now it's about the smart moves, and Pashanok finds it, the time is not there. And EPG is exactly making a big mistake by losing everyone. If Pashanok would have gotten the kit, I could imagine he would have had time. To be honest, my inner clock didn't work as intending. So I would have loved to figure it out, but in the end, a lot of economy that has been brought down at the EPG side. The wallets getting slimmer, are still looking thick though. We have Kree as the only one on 1.8. The rest can buy up properly, and Hooch is aware. Oh, Hooch should be aware. That is a mixed buy. Taking that back right now, I just wanted to say, at least it works for one. Here, as we see Luke, 1.8. Okay, you can make something work with that, but Pashanok is down to the minimum while the rest of the team is there right now for that eco. Luke getting flamed away, has to move away from the truck. He doesn't want to get burned alive already that early in the game. And it's now down to EPG to send their opponent a spiral of economic and also successful drop. Luke, though, is totally against it. Finds the first. As their Nickelback moves on the side, gets the double easily done. With frags left, right, and center, Venya as well as Rami are the only two alive, with a Hooch being an easy target. The rest is hard to fight. Line not 100% accurate with his shots. And to be very fair, Rami could have had the idea and should consider to go for the eco on this. Or the eco is the wrong word, for the save on this. As keeping up the full armor for the next round, same goes for Venya by the way, would be a perfect idea. And Venya, what he's probably trying to do is keep the players of EPG on the sides. Gets the one onto Hooch, actually. That could be now a line falling, and the advantage he has gained himself right now is that he has nothing to lose. The difference is, though, those players from EPG back here on the site, they were all full equipped. Hold on. Full And that just means he's taking their attention because he could have technically a kit and a smoke, and then he goes ninja back here on the spawn. But with grabbing the attention, the EPG players have to stick to the site and get them taken down by the bomb radius. Smart move, no doubt about it. There's now Nickelback, pushes through onto Travel, finds that one. This is so well done, because the difference of the playstyles we're having right now is full throttle for EPG. With their chip-tuned ladder, they're racing against the ESPADA site. That ESPADA site is looking horrible for the start. They've gotten themselves the first two, looking good. Economic advantage right here. And there we go. Venya as well as Rami at least getting themselves the guns for the next one secured, as they're down to the minimum. With their accountants calling, we're on an economic drought, please watch out. And at least the one onto Hooch. So he gets another player down together with Nickelback as they have to buy up, which is partially helping, to be very, very honest. But it's not a major difference on the other side. There we got a pause. The question, though, what does it make any difference? Does it bring us a change in the playstyle? And logically, as we can do it, a big shout out to the Big Doings Cartel. Good supporters, good friends, good people. And also people complaining that you don't play with them, but when you suddenly are available to play, they don't want to play with you. They would rather play some jumping things in Counter-Strike. Embarrassing. But enough with that. 6-2, and EPG just 2 rounds away from securing the T-half already. And just to be a statistics nerd right here, for EPG, the T-half is even less successful. Barely, by just a few ones, but in the end, not a big change. Challanger finds the first one to travel, builds up some presence towards mid, where Venya together with Luca take the control, but they find Challanger, and the bomb is going down in the end. Rami... Hold on, Vicious, he finds himself a double there. It looked definitely like not that it's going to be the case, especially as the smokes were laying deep down on the site, while on the other hand, Lion needs to find a player to his left, as the flick on Luke works. Pressure's building up onto Van Vicious as there's no second defense pillar that might just provide him with the security he needs. And as that is being called, Shadow just stays where he is. Nickelback takes down Venya, and that A site is open up a bit. They're not expecting. They're not really expecting any player to now come over on the site. Rotation is really good, and they've gotten themselves in a position where they're playing against a guy who's only there with the ZZ. Reliant now needs to rotate wisely and find that certain sidearm player who's there on the left, rips his head into pieces, and gets the other one onto Rami. This is not the last resort for the side of ESPADA, but right now it is going all downhill. That break... Probably and hopefully I right now talked about how they're going to play in buy rounds, because now the dollars are looking good, giving them the opportunity to converge into one big successful unit. And as once more off the side of EPG is highly interested in an aggressive setup, Luke gotta hold him off together with Rami. Nickelback finds Venya though. And that is perfectly done from Rami, securing himself the double, giving the op a little bit less work. But as there comes one Alliant incident with the refract, the op is now down for the ESPADA site. The retake gets once more difficult. A single kit is there on the player who only equips himself up with body armor. And Alliant, he finds nothing else than a few bullets in his chest. And that brings it down to Hooch, who last time secured such a situation already. He knows where Pashanok is, goes out aggressive. Not quite sure if that is satisfying, but he gets the one onto Pashanok in the end. And then it's the CIS legend securing himself that double. Post-plan situation going right. And EPG, so far so good. 8-2, and that half secured. As now Pashanok and his guys are down the drain, and once more, looking bad, economically speaking. It's gotta be EPG to be on the scene, grab exactly themselves that 9th round. Where they're a little slower due to a variety of reasons, I imagine. As logically they expect the classic mistake to happen from the CT. They only got pistols, as EPG is aware of it, and then often we see pushes with just those pistols because you got nothing to lose anyway towards Be apartments, for example, towards mid, where the assistance could be built up. But in the end, ESPADA keeping themselves in a close-range duel is the perfect idea, because Travel with that ZZ could find frags of players moving close onto shorts. But in the end, it doesn't work, as Challanger and his fast bullets are spraying onto him. At least a refrag happening from Pashanok, securing himself that certain tiny gun. As the MAC-10 is a quite useful tool in close-range interactions. I think he's rotating away from this. Now Lion finds Venya. No one gets down that AWP from Luke. That is at least a tiny reward for ESPADA in the next round. Their money will look good. Besides Rami, he can get something dropped from one of his teammates, as imagined, especially Pashanok, as well as Luke, who got enough dollars on the board. And that's just a feeling right now. If EPG continues like this, something along the lines of 11-4 will happen, and then it's just about not choking on the CT site. It's hard to imagine, though, to choke on a CT site of this certain map. I remember a game of Singularity, actually, against Dislon, a French lineup you might know if you're in lower tier CS. Did he just ask Pasha? Oh, he really said, yeah, Pashanok. Pasha Nog. That is also an option. Okay. But as we're seeing it, Rami and his guys are looking far away from growth. Even you could say they're looking abysmal, to be very honest. I know it's a harsh saying. I know that this is nothing you want to hear as you're down a drain already, as you're looking quite weak at the point of time, not flexing and showing your strength. Challanger goes in first. Travel finds him as the aggression now falls and fails. It's huge, ripping off Luke, who wants to go through that smoke and act sneaky, but he's getting denied. Rami got himself now the bomb secured, but the man advantage is there in favor of EPG. I'm not quite sure if even Pashanok saw that there is one player going from left and right. Back rips out of Rami. There's only a single man to clean up this situation. Lion with the no-scope. As Pashanok is just an inch away from his face, he decides not even to zoom in. What the hell is the right mouse button? Not even used. Unbind it. Mouse 2. Fuck's that. Another flashbang from Crete. It's not helping an owl. No player coming in for underpass. The economy of ESPADA is once more okay, not even okay, you can say. The armory they've got themselves secured, as well as the weaponry, is definitely... The weaponry is decent. Let's say it like that, exactly. The weaponry is decent. The armory, the equipment is quite minimalistic, to say. We got a single flashbang and 2 smokes. No kit on any of the ESPADA players. And the CT site... Well, CT site that has been led by defeats. Is now maybe even looking weaker. As they're setting themselves up, EPG used to do such fast plays in the beginning. Already got himself the control of any of those sites in the first 30 seconds. Are now making it a little slower. And the question is, will it work in the end? Luke already down to 48 as the spam for the ticket box is successful. Venya will hit Challanger, I wanted to say. He had the advantage. Challanger flicks around, takes him down as he goes for the double and takes down one after another. Travel, Luke, and Pashanok. They're not having a kit. Flashbang is perfect, and Pashanok can just say bye-bye to this, as he probably gets hunted down. Nickelback fails. That option from Elian as well. Shame on you, Elian. More to be expected. The shots are coming in as now Pashanok makes himself the life even harder than it is. He wants to peek through. He finally needs to hit it. Shoots him in the hand. 11-2. And that just means ESPADA are once more economically looking... They're looking famous. That's pretty much the good word. As a few names you could not write down right now. A Lion, a Challanger. Challanger is also 18 years old. He's from Latvia. Latvia only had that more likely known roster of 5 frags, I think the best one in Latvia itself. He used to play at Skinforce, a long player of EPG Academy and Warsaw, also worth mentioning in Latvia. But in the end, no major success and no major outbreaking for him. And as recently talks were made at the E-League Major, where people said, I think also Chris J mentioned that Lithuania is a country where talents are up and rising. That's true when we take a look at FPL, but I have the feeling that CIS, and especially also Latvia, might just come up with one and another. As that 2-11 might just advance. Just further better and better scoreline for EPG. As they can technically get themselves 13 on the board. And Hooch. Not quite sure if that model was intended that way. Rami, he gets himself opt down. Challanger sprays, this time not entirely on. He was the one low HP though. Brings Luke to 23 in the end. Close to the red HP he is. Serpishanok. Just looking to find a bit more. This is one of the few rounds where EPG is suddenly man disadvantaged. There suddenly the A side opens. Venya was not to be expected. Nickelback will not retrieve that bomb in time. Damage control is the only thing he can do, but that is not even happening. Venya with the double, same goes for Pishanok. And Luke rounds it up with the 5th. And that just means EPG, their economy is brilliant. They can spend as much money on everything as they want to. And that's the reason why they're going for an aggressive double op setup, which is quite unusual to see. Hoojin as well as a Lion deciding to go for the $4,750 rifle. The question is, how will they utilize that? Quick look on the scoreboard. 16-6 from a Lion. Talked about it previously. During the beginning of the match, we said exactly that. This guy is a talent to be looked out for. Best rating, 18 years old, youngster, might be able to gain a bit more confidence and experience with those matchups we have here at the Bats Not Net Cup. But first of all, it's Pishanok down to 35 with the assistance of Luke. Getting himself back. EPG, now they've pressed the throttle and they're definitely interested in getting themselves on the B side. The entry has been made from Luke. As Challanger is the next one to fall, he's not making it work. He rips off the hat off Cree and might just do a little more. It's a 4 versus 2. A Lion is there on the op. Hooch has the exactly same gun right now in his hands. The question is, how are they going to find the players? Not at all. It might be ESPADA taking the 4th. Quite surprisingly, EPG is falling short, though they have all the equipment they're looking for. And Eli needs to go ham if he wants to find them all. The wallbang idea was great. Rami now might just go for the aggressive peek onto a line as he has interest in gaining ground. No chins. 5-5-6 to the head. And I think, I'm 100% sure actually. During the 3rd or 4th round, I said this is going to be 11-5 EPG. Prediction God, some of my friends call me. They also call me Pansy, with a male face, or... How's that guy called again who plays Spider-Man right now? Tom Riddle? No, it's not Tom Riddle. How's the other guy called? I don't remember it. I can't recall it. What is it? Tom Selleck? No. Not Tom Selleck. I can't remember anymore. My memory is as open as Swiss cheese. Tom Holland. Bookie to the rescue. Now it needs to be Hooch. not to the rescue, more likely to be the perfect defender of that A site, as only USPS is on his hands. Challanger plays that kit player. It worked for ESPADA in the first round, if you remember right. Silently, they're making their call on two mates. Badly played there by Nickelback. Can find himself a frag in the end towards middle. Not even a bit of damage being dealt. Travel doesn't get taken down. And Challanger, as he moves over short, doesn't find anything yet. ESPADA seems to be predetermined on the A side, though. The bomb is going to be picked by Travel. Now it's about him if he does a 180 turn or not. Challanger does a good job because he wants to lurk and grab attention. There he sees him. Now Kree knows that could be the B site. And take a look, it exactly works how they wanted to do. Challanger even getting a frag, decimating the site of EPG, and Hooch, where's the accuracy of his USPS? Given away pretty much. Lion now needs to retrieve the shattered glass off the site. Tries to find Venya, no chance. Kree with a kit. You could play it last second if you would like to. Finds one shot, 2 points of health he has left. A single bullet to his chest, feed wherever you want to. And this guy is dead. Travel doesn't peek yet. Should get a single body shot onto him. Kree moves around. Actually, he's interested in hiding himself. Unfortunate. Would have expected that he would have had the balls, but on the other hand, it's very understandable. You got 2 points of health. What do you want to do? Sure, you got a kit as well as a smoke, but in the end, that's sometimes not enough. And that scoreline brings us to a situation where ESPADA is looking now finally favorable. The last few CT rounds worked out fine. They got themselves control over it. And now it is, well, down to ESPADA to prevail some immense advantage over EPG to get that comeback potential on board. While EPG is interested in Major League playing Scout, a double mid-Scout setup, which is, on the one hand, very understandable, because you don't need one body shot. You need, you don't need 2 body shots because you only need 1. Everyone has to hit, though. That's the thing. Align as well you can there. You need to have 100% accuracy to one-shot players together. It's like fusion. You know, it's like they're having both of their bullets being fusion into one, and it all goes down to that one enemy who thinks it's a good idea to peek in middle. First of all, that is not even going to happen from ESPADA. Nickelback keeps himself on the underpass. The control wants to be taken over onto A. The fake has worked out. The shots from Pashanox Mac 10 make the ears hear what they like to hear. Sounded like a push onto A for a moment, but it doesn't look like that right now. The question is, how much does ESPADA expect a player like Nickelback to be there? If he decides to move up right now, he has a perfect timing. One of the scouts does a hit. Nickelback moves up. And Kree, he's flashed out. There comes one shot. Oh, and Kree staying sneaky. He needs to find the frag. He rips his head off. And should be able to secure himself a free AK. He rips off another. Pishanok falls as well. And those shots from Kree are beautifully done as he secures himself the triple. And it's only one more alive, and that is Venya. The UMP in his hands. Hooch to be expected. The bomb to be flamed away. And now it's just one of the players who needs to rotate off. The beautiful shots we're seeing from Kree. Another one to get, and he just plays round and round and round. He won't get himself that plant. And Hooch says, bye-bye, I'm out of this. Screw you. And he does it. Smart plays as the dance on the B site was done more dirty for the side of EPG. Enjoyable plays we're having. ESPADA falling short. And the worst about it is if EPG take the control over it, and if EPG is especially able to now shut down the opponent without too many casualties taken, as I say it, they should be able to take very, very good control over this entire game. And Venya finds nearly the double. And nearly, well, you could call it dilettant, what is happening on the site of EPG right now. Funny-o-wise, though. This Travel finding a double only with the body shots as he makes that work. Back to the actual, what I wanted to say. It's horrible to see how EPG with full aggression and really unreasonable plays are given away. You know you're a little bit better equipped. Why the hell would you go for those aggressions? The opponent got the bomb plant right here, so you arrived with 2. Rami, as he goes from the site, alright, doesn't get the kill, only takes him down to 60. Kree's shots now need to be point blank accurate. The scout is enough for Rami. 6-12, and a hell of amount of rounds are right now on the board for ESPADA. A few more to control. And the CTs, it's a kind of a shame, you could say. As only those pistols are on the board, Hooch and those guys trying to maybe get 1 or 2. Hooch is not successful with that. Maybe Kree needs to do so as he hides himself behind the pillar. Wants to do a dink here and there. He plays them out left and right. Can't find anything yet. There's the easy control. 7-12. Now it matters that Lion and his team do the right buy and do the right play. You don't want your opponent to gain more rounds than needed. Far away from that. As we're now having it though. Lion, Nickelback, Challanger, and Kree are still going for that peak. It was more than enough money to do a decent buy-up. But the side of EPG wants to go for real big boy equipment as it seems to be. Kree finds Travel at least. As Nickelback gets fragged in from behind, he does not care and pushes through. And suddenly, I think in less than less than 1.5 minutes, we're already having 2 additional rounds for ESPADA. Now the money should be enough though. 5.4, 5.7, full equipment everywhere. And it would be a shame right now if EPG is throwing this away in favor of their opponents. As it's time to punish ESPADA for breaking that curfew EPG has built up. With the strong lead beforehand and the CT side defense plays. Where aggression needs to be punished. Now Luke pushes through. Hopes himself to find any player going for Palace. Nickelback gets taken down. Playing against an open Palace is not always the best idea. Sure, they didn't know about it, but when you peek white, like Nickelback did, instead of just moving back and forth, when you peek white, logically, your body is extremely visible, and suddenly you're getting a shot to the head, which was not the best of an idea for Nickelback in the end. It still looks alright, as the AWP is still on the side of a Lion, and security on the B side has not pressed the alarm button yet. The rotation from Challanger comes over. With 40 seconds left on the boards, a Lion might find those important frags where over-aggression is being punished. No utility being used entirely. Challanger back on the B side, hiding himself. There is now the destination 100% set. There's no way around it. The whiff is not what was needed by a Lion, though. As he's getting a little bit of sandwich right here, he whiffs it. Venya as well as Kree are securing the B side bit by bit. But Challanger can deny it. And if he now makes it possible that there's no going to be a plant, and that might be the case. It is the case! Is it? That is not happening. EPG secure the round because Challanger is as trigger patient as possible. They're not retrieving the bomb in time. And this is a big slap in the face for ESPADA. That should never be the case. Not shaking the most usual corner players boost up onto. They will not do the mistake again. And that's the way how you actually get your opponent taken down. Challanger securing EPG the 13th. Gives him the opportunity to now take this victory home as soon as possible. And what I find the most crucial about this hurts your morale so badly when suddenly this is happening. A safe round, you're losing it because of such a basic mistake. The nade was landing directly in the face of Challanger though. Puts him down to 37, Kree down to 55. They found at least that one entry. But in the end, 2 wounded EPG guys. And Rami pretty much dead already. As he lays there on a deathbed and just waits to be taken down. But in the end, we know low HP plays are always possible. The most insane clutches are happening off low HP. But on the other hand, now Hooch getting a lot of control towards apartments. It's actually Palace, to be very accurate. You could call it A apartments. But first of all, now he knows A side it's not going to be. Utility is low off EPG, and that makes it all a little bit more problematic. Both players are not high on health. Rami has to be taken down. Challanger from the site has no chance to survive. Venya finds the bomb player once more. And he can't retrieve it again. Pishanok gets onto the line, finds the headshot. He has to do nothing else than find the player. Slug, is he able to plant in time? Technically he is. And Hooch now only needs to go peek wide. He does so, and he finds him. No time to equip that AWP properly. Hooch making his successful jumps. And there it is. 14-8. ESPADA once more securing himself a bomb plant, but a single man with the worst stats right now on the EPG site is making it possible for the defenders to secure the 14th and to stand just 2 rounds away from success. It was 3 days back when Hooch, Lion, Nickelback, Challanger, and Kree were able to take down their opponent on this certain map, Mirage. Could be the 2nd victory in a row against the side of ESPADA on this map. The question is, how do they want to make it work? I'm not satisfied with that, and I'll explain you why real quick. Lion has a flashbang. He could flash out his teammate. He's not doing it. Lion, just do it. Full blind onto Luke and Rami. That would be a perfect entry option for Challanger, but he still does not utilize on that. There the Opera is being taken down. It now needs to be Challanger, but he stays patient. Gets taken down in the end, and that was just so unfortunate to see. As they're giving this away and in favor of their opponent because they could have used their utility. Not a single nade a Lion has thrown, though they have bought 3 in total. You have your teammate up here, you're standing in the window. Of course, bad timing can always hit you that exactly in that moment you're getting taken down by the op. But just considering it, a big flash down there should make those guys blind. Shannock also blind right now with the headshot. Not able to see much more in this round. In the end, it needs to be Hooch taking down players moving onto the site. Gets treble. Number 1, the Opera. 100% successful with it. Kree with not only 1, but with 2 and a total 3. As Venya is once more going for the plant. This is one of the retake scenarios that might just go backfire massively. As Kree is hot for it, and he finds the shot onto Venya. This is not how you should do it, but EPG, round after round after round, they're able to take down their opponent when they're actually down the drain, man disadvantage, bomb being planted, no perfect utility, all you're looking for to actually lose a round. But Kree secures 4, and that makes EPG look so goddamn good. They're looking shaky but good. It's not even nice to watch sometimes because you're asking yourselves with your hands on the head and being like, please EPG, how do you lose such duels? But then towards the end, how do you explain it? It's the best example to it. Probably like a fidget spinner. You hate it in the beginning, but towards the end, you're really having fun with it. I don't know if that's a bad idea. I don't even know if fidget spinners are relevant anymore. Getting to it though, EPG is just a round away from taking home the victory against the site of ESPADA. Kreese somehow whiffs that shot easily. That was his frag, as he had even time advantage. Challanger holds himself towards short, rips off another head off Rami, but the side of Ace open. As a Russian and a Latvian, I need to clean things up. Flashbang not inflicting much on you yet. Challanger has to take a look on the top left, where Luke is only standing. Just a Mach 10. That should give the information away. Might be the wrong timing, but baits out the one player. That's the first. And Travel has to move out. 62 points of health he has left. As they're on the right, he is, and he just takes him down. 4 frags once more. And those massive clutches are securing EPG the victory on this map, Mirage.
Counter-terrorists win.
And I honestly don't know what to think, believe, or hope in the end, but that was once more beautifully done. It hurts, on the one hand, ESPADA got to work so massively on those post-plant situations, and especially onto taking duels together, because there's something going massively wrong when you consistently lose exactly those situations where you could have looked way more favorable, but you were not looking there that way in the end. And with that being said, we're going to take a quick break. Don't go anywhere, because we're going to watch QB Fire. And QB Fire is QB Fire, right? Major legends we're going to watch in the best of one. I'm not quite sure how they're going to perform, especially against EPG, who now just brought themselves the victory. But I expect a lot more solid plays and a lot more consistency with that situations, especially post-plant. Those clutches were good, but that was against ESPADA. There's a different caliber coming up right now, and that caliber is called QBF. So stick tuned for our next match coming up in a second here. It's Starlit CS.